Next up, we have how students from UW created a decentralized NFT crowdfunding platform for emerging ideas. Aiden Smith, come on down.
Big round of applause for Aiden.
Hey everybody, my name is Aiden Smith. I'm from University of Washington. And a year ago, I learned that I absolutely hate the crypto space. I learned about NFTs and thought that the entire space was filled with frat boys and Ponzi schemes, and I thought monkey pictures were stupid. And so how I remedied that was starting to learn the technology. I was absolutely terrified to learn the technology. Coming from a non-technical background, I thought it was impossible. But I started working in the space and meeting people, engaging myself in a community that I thought didn't want me. And it turns out I was categorically false. Blockchain technology in general isn't horribly complicated. In reality, we just communicate it in a kind of funky way, right? And it's an emerging technology. So the first people in emerging technology spaces are the people that build it. They're really, really good at communicating with computers, a lot less good at communicating with humans. And so that's what I want to talk to you guys today about. Over the last year, I went from being a pre-law student at University of Washington studying for the LSAT to speaking at the World Economic Forum on blockchain education in Davos, and working in industries from humanitarian aid distribution to tax and compliance, working to educate people on how blockchain works and how to implement it in an equitable way. But you don't just get there overnight. I had an incredible amount of help, and I also had the privilege of working with the very first DAO class at any accredited university in the world. And today I want to tell you guys a little bit about our story, how we took a bunch of non-technical students and were able to solve real-world problems, and a bit about what we're doing in the future. So in January of this year, we had an ex-venture capitalist come to University of Washington and get permission to host a 2-credit class every Wednesday. We took 15 non-technical students and 5 technical students from University of Washington's Blockchain Society. And our first lecture was titled, "What is Blockchain?" We had marketing students and history students and a bunch of people that had no idea what was going on in the space. And we knew that going in. So we were able to create the curriculum as we were learning for all of the people in the space. And when I talk about accessibility of education, it's something that I don't really see a lot in the blockchain space, but it is pivotal for creating mass adoption in the technology. The problems we saw, lack of access to capital, right? So we have amazing talent that is bottlenecked because they don't have access to good source or capital sourcing mechanisms. Anyone that's worked in the VC space knows that you're either in or you're out, and there are massive populations of our world that are out. They're not represented by this space. Women, BIPOC communities, queer communities, we are consistently underrepresented in this space. And so once we had a class of people who were passionate and wanted to figure out, hey, how do we give more people the opportunity that we've been given? We were able to create a decentralized crowdfunding platform using DAOs. So we created an interoperable DAO creation platform. Think Kickstarter on-chain. But imagine if Kickstarter had democracy baked into the underlying infrastructure. What that allows us to do is it allows us to use the power of communities for crowdsourcing to support intellectual property, entrepreneurship, innovation from populations that are consistently underfunded and underrepresented in this space. We can talk about diversity all day long, right? And I see all the time, you see panels of women speaking about what it's like to be a woman in tech. But I don't see a lot of projects, going in and fixing the underlying infrastructure of this space so that we have more room. And that's what we wanted to do with this project. So we're now working with University of Washington to build out their blockchain education program. We're working with both the Applied Math Department and the Law Society and Justice Department. Because blockchain isn't just tech, right? It's a tool for humanity. It's a tool for communication and information sharing. And so that is what we have done. That is what we've created. We titled it Vision DAO. Our goal is to promote and give access to education of blockchain, access to entrepreneurship, to bring more people in the space, and to make sure that people feel like, hey, even if you don't have a technical background, you can understand this tech to the point that you can find applications. I see a lot of projects that don't really have real-world utility, although that is starting to shift as the market crashes. But personally, what I think causes that is we have a massive lack of people in the space that actually experience real-world problems, right? So if we don't have women at the forefront, then we don't have people who are experiencing sexism. If we don't have minorities in the forefront, then we don't have people experiencing racism applying blockchain technology for solutions. And so we're partnering with schools, accelerators, nonprofits that are focused on minority entrepreneurship, and we're going to see where this takes us. I have a couple of minutes left. I really wanted to just kind of open up the dialogue and answer any questions, because please, hello, hi. Thank you. As far as I know, we are the only platform that uses the ERC 1150 standard. Basically, yes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the cool thing about blockchain, right, especially open source projects, is that we can watch capital flow. So you can literally watch exactly where your money is going, and you can make sure that it's going to the community that you're attempting to support. We also wanted to make sure that we were built for scalability, and we wanted to make sure that we had the highest level of data security and also monetary security. And so we used Ceramic as a way to make sure that all transactions that happen within the DAO are interoperable. So you're able to exchange these for, I think we're up to 1,000 blockchains right now. But that technology is a real-world application to make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen. Does that answer your question? Awesome. Anyone else? Any questions? Awesome. Okay, all right, thank you guys.
Thank you very much, Aiden. Thank you, Aiden.